Find yourself dealing with negativity on a regular basis and not really sure how to navigate it? Well, I think I might be able to help you. What's up, everyone? Eric Allen, Life Absolutism, back with you, talking today about negativity. And my God, what a broad topic this can be. Now, the reason why I need to talk about negativity is because I see far too often men being impacted by negativity around them and letting it influence their emotional reaction to that negativity. Why is this important to talk about, right? Why is it important? Well, negativity is like a desert, right? It's just this vast expanse that covers much of the world. It's something that we cannot get away from encountering almost on a daily basis, right? Be it in our family environment, our relationships, our friendships, our work environment, just driving to work, going to the store. Negativity surrounds us. And not only does it surround us, but it also impacts us, right? It changes us. It determines a lot of times how we react. And it's only because we let it guide us, and we let it direct us, we let it show us what we need to do to react to it, rather than just having that level of emotional control that's necessary to deal with emotional negativity that we have to encounter. One of the biggest things that you could do is just recognize it, right? And again, negativity is just everywhere. There's no way to get away from it. If honestly, I'm not even sure you would want to get away from it, because who wants to live in a perfect world? Who wants this world to be something that's just so perfect you have no context of what's good, what's bad, what's up, what's down? You don't want that. You want to see negativity, you want to see bad, you want to see evil versus good, so that you have context, right? You want to know that you're on the right side, you want to know that you're good, you want to know that you're positive, you want to know that you're going the right way, you want to know you're in love. You know, there are good sides and then there's bad sides, and unfortunately we can't get away from the bad sides in life, being negativity one of those bad sides. Right? And why does negativity impact us? Why and how does it even impact us? The reason why is because you have to think of our bodies as these physical spheres, right? These physical bodies surrounded by an emotional aura. We're talking about this energy field that actually surrounds us, this energy field that's very perceptible to the energy fields of others. That's why when you get into certain environments where there's that one person who just has this heavy negativity, this very dense energy, you feel that. It's palpable. You get around them and immediately you start feeling tired, you start feeling low, you start feeling lethargic. And not only that, but you start feeling negative yourself, right? We've all been around those people that the minute they just start laying into things, the minute they just start with the complaining, the arguing, the just talking constant negativity, it just impacts us, and before long our own moods are impacted by their negativity. And that's bad. That's bad, especially as a man, because as a man we are supposed to be mountains, right? Nobody says that a man is supposed to be emotionless, right? It's fine to feel your feelings. It's good to feel your feelings, but we need to be emotionally under control. We need to be stable, because we are the rocks. We are the ones that provide that safe, comforting environment, especially in our relationships, especially for our families. You know, we are the ones that people should be able to look to say, you know, while the world around me is chaotic, it's this one place, this one person that I can be around that's going to make me feel like it's all okay. That's my man, that's my brother, that's my father, that's my husband, whatever, right? That needs to be you. You need to be the man unimpacted by others' negativity. But it's important for you to be able to recognize it if you're going to be able to be unaffected by it, right? And the way that you can understand and recognize the fact that you're being subjected to someone's negativity is just looking at the environment around you, seeing how the environment responds to this person, those people, that coworker, right? I had this one coworker before who was just such an absolute terror. Everyone kept saying, don't get on her bad side, don't get on her bad side, because not only was she just negative and mean, she was also very close friends with the CEO. So everyone feared that they were going to lose her job. And that was what I was warned about when I first started the job. Don't get on her bad side, otherwise you will find yourself out of the job. Now, people couldn't really do anything about it. You couldn't just walk up to her and say, hey, you are miserable to be around, and I don't want to be around you, because when I'm around you, I myself feel miserable, and I resent the fact that I have to deal with your misery, with your anger. So you couldn't do anything about it. You really just had to deal with it, and that was miserable. And that's often a case that we find ourselves in, but that's not always the case we find ourselves in. Many times we find ourselves just being surrounded by people who are heavily negative, but we can walk away from, we can put up a boundary from, we can tell those people, hey, I can see you're in a bad mood, I'm just going to walk away. Or I can see you're in a bad mood, why don't we reconnect later? I can see you're in a bad mood, I'm just going to head out while you just kind of decompress for a while. We have to set boundaries, right? So the biggest thing that you could possibly do is recognize someone's negativity or an environment's negativity, and just to be able to just kind of categorize that as this serves me or this doesn't serve me. And if we let the energy of that person's field impact our own energy field, it's not going to take long before they start having some kind of, influence on the way that we respond to our environments, because we are saturated with their negativity. This is a thing. This is not nothing. When someone has that negativity, you've been in it. I've been in it. We've all been in a relationship where when you get around that person, they're just sour, they're mean, they're negative, and you're just like, what am I doing around this person? We've had friends like that where we've just kind of cut them off and said, you know what? That person's always in a bad mood. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a sibling. They're just always in a bad mood. And you just want to be away from it, because the only thing it does when you're around it is it makes you share their misery, right? Misery loves company. So just make sure that you're able to identify it. If you get around a certain environment, you get to work, you get home, whatever, and you realize that your mood changes almost instantaneously, it may be because somebody else's energy field is impacting you in a very negative way. The good thing is that while we do have that negative influence, there's also positive influence. And we've heard people say their energy is infectious, their energy is palpable, referring to people who are just in a really great mood. And I'm not talking about false positivity. I'm not talking about people who are always falsely, weirdly upbeat and positive, because I feel like those are sometimes some of the people that implode the fastest. I'm talking about people that are emotionally stable, people that are just solid, people that are always just in this very level mood. They smile, they're pleasant, and most people will say about them, I never see them get stressed out. I never see them get mad. That's the level that you want. That's the range you want to find yourself in. Not the false positivity, good positivity, not negativity, but that nice range in between where you're just solid, like the mountain, right? So create this positive environment, create this positive mindset. Don't let somebody else's negative field interact with yours. And if it does, set a boundary, limit your time there. Walk away from it, distance yourself from it, because you have to do something about that. We cannot allow ourselves to be day in and day out subjected to someone else's negativity and just somehow be okay with that, somehow be unaffected by that, because over time it will constantly wear us down. We've seen those relationships where someone's in, one half is in a relationship with the other half who's just constantly mean or just negative or bossy or rude or just disrespects them on a constant basis. And you're all thinking, why are they in that relationship? Why do they stick around? Why don't they just walk away from it? Why don't they leave? Well, a lot of times it's because they're trauma bonded, right? They won't just easily walk away, not without some kind of strong catalyst, not without that person maybe leaving them. They're just so addicted chemically to this person that even that negative energy field is not enough to break that bond. It's not enough to push them away. So they're just subjected to it day in and day out. And before long, you see this one friend of yours, this sister, this brother, this parent, whatever of yours, slowly erode, slowly wear down, and just become a shell of the version that you remember them being. Don't let that be you. Don't let that happen to you. Understand someone's negativity, understand the world's negativity. We can't escape it. There's no way to cut it out of our lives completely, but there is a way to limit our exposure to it. All right? Being on the road and dealing with somebody who's just being an ass while they're driving, just let it happen. Let it pass. Get in the other lane, let them go around. You can't change that person. Just let them be who they are and move on, and you get on with your day being unaffected. Work environments, home environments, relationships, whatever, you have to take control of that situation and set up a boundary. And if somebody's just got this heavy negative energy, just put up a boundary. Limit your time with them. Limit your exposure to them. Maybe even have that conversation like, hey, what's going on? Every time we seem to be around each other, you just don't seem like you're in a good mood. Is there something bothering you, you know? And if that person's just in one of those permanent states where they just can't identify what's going on with them, because some people just need therapy because they've got more going on that what you could possibly help them get through, it's not your job. You need to understand that it's not your job to get them through that you need to limit your exposure, communicate like an adult, have that emotional control, but let them seek the help that they need. The point of all this is don't let the world's energy impact you. You continue to be that rock. You continue to be that person who's just cool, calm, and collected, unaffected by the world. Occasionally a hiccup, occasionally a dip, but sometimes that's just permissible. Sometimes that just has to happen. But overall, you need to be steady, stable, firm. Block it out. Set boundaries, identify who your negative impacts are, who your negative impressions are in life. Set up boundaries for them and limit your time around them, and just keep your cool, because you can't afford to let somebody else drive the type of person that you are and drive your energy. I hope this helps.